Hi, I'm Nathan from Skate Loser. Welcome to the channel. I teach about the sport of skateboarding and the community. In this video, I'm going to be helping you guys as much as I can with pushing. Whether you're a beginner or just want to improve it to be the best it can be, I believe I can provide you with at least some information that you don't already know. You can incorporate that into your skating and improve in a specific area, in this case, pushing. Before you ever start pushing, you need to be able to balance on the board. A lot of people, like me, just jump on their deck and start pushing and learn balance as they go. The problem with this is you can build up a muscle memory that's hard to break, and most of the time it affects their overall skate performance. Now, so you don't waste time learning balance the wrong way, having to relearn it, there are a few things I can do to help you out. When you first stand on your board, you need to figure out whether you skate goofy or regular. Goofy is when you have your right foot in front and push with your left, and the regular is the opposite. The trick that I tell everyone who doesn't know which is more comfortable is to put whatever foot you'd naturally kick a ball with in front. Majority of people are right foot dominant, so they skate goofy. I personally skate goofy, but I'm not right foot dominant. I just switched my stance a few times starting out. Once you know what stance you are, stick your front foot right on top or behind the front bolts. Your back foot isn't really relevant when it comes to balance, because when you're pushing, it's not even on the board. Your goal should be to be able to indefinitely ride with your front foot on the board while your back foot freely moves in the air. If you can steer and balance perfectly with your front foot, all the rest will come really easily. Try to make sure your front foot is parallel with the board and in the center of it, but when you do this, don't focus on it too much, as the more positions you can balance in, the more adaptable you are and the faster you'll progress. Now that you got your balance down, it's actually time to learn to push. Just to go over what your legs are doing, you need to keep your front foot not parallel like I said before, but pivot your foot from parallel to perpendicular to the board when your back foot is on. Your back foot should be the same, somewhere near the back bolts. That's the position for riding. When you go to push, you pivot your front foot back to the parallel position and lift your back foot. Since you have enough balance to move your back foot freely, you should kick it forward into the air and build up momentum, then kick it back to the ground in a swinging motion. I like to imagine it as if your foot is an ice cream scoop and you're trying to scoop the ground up, which is the ice cream. Weird analogy, but I think some people are visual learners on this channel, so it'll help a little bit hopefully. When you kick forward, your entire body is also leaning back to be a counterweight for your leg. And same for when you push your foot back, your body will lean forward. It might not look perfect at first, and a lot of beginners will tend to do a thing I call toe tapping, where they don't make a full fluid motion during the push, and it's more like a bunch of downward little stomps that slightly propel the board. I think it has to do with the fact that they don't have front foot balance, so instead of pushing backwards to move, they're setting their foot on a non-moving surface for a half second to gain a little bit of balance, then flicking their ankle to make it look like a push. If you have this problem, the only thing you can do to fix it is by working on front foot balance. But a way to help with that is to keep both your feet on the board most of the time. When you go to push, only push once and try to push far. Wait a few seconds, then push again. If you want to learn even faster, then do the same thing, but just stand with your back foot in the air and only set it down to push every few seconds, or if you lose balance. So basically, to learn the fastest, like to put that in a simpler idea, you just keep your front foot in the air, or your back foot needs to stay in the air, like in front of you, as if you're about to push, and you can steer with your front foot as you're doing that. Whenever you need to go to push, you swing your foot back and then put it right back in that front position. And for the both feet on the board, you just keep your feet on the board at all times. Go to push hard, put your feet back on the board, keep them there until you need to push again. It's like a good way to perfect the form of pushing instead of just consistently building a bad habit of tap on the ground. A lot of people do that. They'll just keep on pushing on the ground without picking up their foot and putting it back on the board because they're just trying to gain balance. The final part of learning a perfect push is knowing how to use your upper body. I mentioned before how you have to lean to use your upper body as a counterweight, and that's the main part of what you do with your upper body as a whole. But you have arms too, and you're not just going to let them hang there. Like when you go for a sprint, you punch your arms forward to propel you a little more with each step, and it works. So that's what you see all the professional racers doing, like Usain Bolt and shit. Like they all punch their arms forward or use a jab motion, and it propels them a little bit more than just their legs. A lot of people will do the same thing runners do, where they swing their front arm back and the back one forward at the same time. While this works, it's not as efficient as possible, and your arm swinging back is almost canceling out the arm swinging forward, killing all the momentum, so swinging that way is almost like a waste of energy. The most efficient and fastest way to push is to swing both arms. On the lean back, you swing your arms as far back as you can, then on the lean forward, rock your arms forward, and the momentum from your foot, body leaning, and your arms will make you go a lot faster than if you were to just push with your foot. Where most people prioritize acceleration as fast as possible so they can set up for tricks in a short distance, some people skate in different ways, so they might change up the way they push. Some want as much style as possible, some want to conserve as much energy as possible. While I won't be able to go over every possible way of pushing for every individual person, I can help people choose the way they want to push with some popular main goals in skating. If you just want style, then there's lots of things you can do. Swing your shoulders from parallel to perpendicular as you push and have loose arms. It's mostly just about fluidity, but you can choose what looks coolest to you, as everyone has different taste. If you want to prioritize balance, have bent knees and swing less during your push. If you need to conserve energy, maybe just get a longboard or something. It's way easier if you're just pushing and you're not doing any tricks anyways. I hope you've gotten some kind of entertainment or information from this, even if it wasn't much. Thanks for taking your time to watch this video to the end. If you liked the video, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a like, and if you have the time, go through my channel, see if you like any other videos, and if you do, maybe you can subscribe. Thank you, I really do appreciate it. Love and peace. Good luck skating.
Peace, motherfucker.